Hey, you guys. I'm going to offer you some tips today on how to grow your business with the least amount of effort and kind of pushing or pulling along your business, and instead using the events that we have to evolve your business very easily by rolling one invite and one sign-on into another event and another event and another event. I'm also going to give you some tips on organization and so forth, but I want to begin the discussion on mindset and expectations. So this is a big deal in this business. It's a really big deal. It takes something that is normally a really easy thing. Hey, I found something amazing, totally life transforming for people. It's the real deal. It is going to help in one way or another improve health in every single person on the planet, basically. And I really want to share it with you. It takes that simple invitation, right, to your friends and family, and mindset twists that into, oh my gosh, what are they going to say? What are they going to do? What if they say no the first time? Do I go back to them? What do I say the next time? How many times do I go back to them? And it creates this resistance to your business. And that resistance builds on itself. It's one of those things where what you think about, you bring about. And so the very thing that you are afraid of tends to be the thing that occupies your mind, and it creates over-analysis of your business and overthinking in terms of what you say and how you roll from one step to another. And that fear creates that resistance, which then pushes back at you what you typically don't want, which is a no, or it's somebody staring back at you with deer in the headlights look. Maybe they've signed on and ordered, but you're in such resistance mode, you don't know how to guide them to the next step to get them into activity. Or when you think to do that, instead of just being natural about what you would say to them, you're coming up with something that's really long and overwhelming, or it's using language that is immediately going to impress upon the person that they're either going into a big business or it's complicated or something of that nature. And so all of that, I think mindset and so forth, comes back down to expectation. When people get into this business, the biggest fear, of course, is failure. There's also fear of success, but I think the biggest fear is failure. And so we create an expectation in our mind of we have to find the success. That way we can quiet down that crazy noise in our mind that is telling us that this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work. So we have this expectation, got to find success so we can hush that noise and feel better about what we're doing and who we are. It's proof for us that we can actually make this work. But that expectation sets you up for feeling crappy about yourself, because if you do not find the success quickly, and that's not necessarily normal in this business, you can immediately fall into a hole that just swirls out of control of self-doubt, overanalysis, resistance, and all of the things I just mentioned start to happen in your business, which leads to more no's or doubts or sign-ons that don't actually go anywhere. And then you don't see success, and it builds that noise, and boom, we're on this mad cycle, right? So I want to propose to you guys that you create an expectation of waking up every day and doing your IPA and leaving it at that. That's your expectation. You don't have to sign 3 people today. You don't have to have 20 people in an event. You don't have to rank advance, get a stimulus bonus check, etc. All of those things are awesome. But when you make that your expectation, you put yourself under this huge strain of pressure. And again, it goes back to what I already said. Those are the outcomes to it. So I would encourage you all to provide yourself with a realistic expectation of what's going to happen today. You already know your expectation for this business is gold, senior ruby, sapphire, diamond, whatever it is that you think that you want to be at some point in time. We understand that expectation's out there. My expectation is to go diamond as well. If I woke up every day and thought about the fact that I'm not diamond, thought about the fact that I've been in this business for almost 7 years and I'm just barely over emerald. I think I had like I don't know, 1,750 points last month, something like that. It would drive me crazy. And I can say that with 100% certainty because I've done that to myself time and again, and it just kills my joy. It keeps me out of activity, which it puts me in a place of resistance, all the things I said, and it does not create forward movement in my business. Number one, if I'm not in activity, that's a done deal. I'm not creating forward movement in my business. And it's because my focus is on the long-term expectation and what hasn't happened instead of on today's expectation. What can I do today to move my needle? What do I have control over? What can I get up and do right now that is a positive for my business? And then pat myself on the back for having accomplished that, and knowing that if I do that every day, it is going to build on itself. It's kind of like Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan was not accepted. He was banished from the basketball team his junior year of high school because he wasn't good enough, right? And look at what happened. How do you think he got to where he is right now, or where he got to in his career, I should say? He got there because he got back out on the basketball court and started practicing and practicing and practicing. And he focused on what he could do that day. How many baskets could he put into that? How many balls can he put into that basket on a given day? Not, can I wake up today and get accepted onto that basketball team? That's probably a goal of his when he started training. But if he woke up every day and got frustrated with himself that at the end of the day, he still wasn't on that basketball court, on that team, he would have quit, because it is nothing more than beating yourself down, down, down. And it's pretty hard to rise up in anything you're doing when you're busy beating yourself down. So at the end of the day, for Michael Jordan, of course, he didn't worry about whether the 50% shot success that he had, I should probably lower that because that's a pretty good shot success actually, but if he didn't worry about the fact that if he had 10% shot success today, that it meant something. He didn't give it meaning and say, well, this must mean I'll never get on a basketball team, let alone the NBA. Nope, he didn't give it that meaning. He just said, well, today was only 10%, and if I keep getting up and doing this every single day, and I listen to the things that I need to learn about skill set and making improvements, and I put those into, if I implement them every single day, and I keep building on that, and I keep building my skill set, one day I'm gonna be amazing at this. And the more frequently I do this, the faster I'm gonna get where I wanna be. That's what this business is. Everything in life is that way. Everything. There's not one single thing that any of us has woken up to on any given day and said, I'm going to go do that. And we're amazing at it. It just doesn't, life doesn't work that way. And for some reason, people come into network marketing and they want it to. They want it to be different than all the other things in the world where it's rocket success immediately. So, and the reason for that is because that voice is especially loud in this industry. Most people will warn you against doing what this industry represents. Your own voice wants to listen to the masses because that feels safe. It feels like, well, if everybody else feels this way about this business, I must have to feel this way about this business to keep myself from falling into an uncomfortable or undesirable situation. Like maybe there's a reason why they're saying that, and then I'm going down this path and I'm going to end up in this terrible situation with this scammy company or whatever. I know you guys don't think it's a scam, but those things are still playing in your back of your mind, in your subconscious mind. So if you stop, number one, work towards not worrying about what other people think of you, but more importantly, worrying about what other people think of you is very much attached to worrying about, I have to find success. So if you take your eyes off of, I have to find success, that kind of inadvertently means you're not really worried about what other people think of you. And if you shift all that energy into, I'm worried, well, hopefully you're not worried about anything, but I'm focusing focusing on what my day looks like today, where I can fit in Plexus, and how I can move my needle. I think my Facebook page has been okay, but I'd like to see it up a notch. I'm going to take some extra time today, and I'm going to create ideas around what I want my voice to be, how I want my voice to be heard, and what I want to display on Facebook for the next 3 days. I'm going to make a Plexus post for 3 days. I'm going to make at least one personal post for 3 days. So 6 posts. I'm going to work on that today that are really good for me in my mind, and they really represent who I am. And I'm going to watch and see how that works. And guess what, guys? Don't forget, the more you do this, the better you are. The faster you can come up with what you want to say, the more aware you are of what your voice is, and it rolls off your tongue after a while. In the beginning, not so much, but over time, it will. The point is waking up on your daily basis and focusing on skill sets of your business, completing your IPA, which is messaging at least 3, preferably 5 new people, following up with 5 people, posting on your Facebook page, adding new people to your Facebook, which I'm going to talk about today, super important, and learning something new. That's what the other one was. So me right now, by the way, you guys, just an FYI, I'm literally going to try and spend about 4 to 5 hours tomorrow just listening to Instagram videos and learning Instagram. I have put this off for way too long. Instagram is an incredible platform to build your business. And I need to not only do it for myself, but I also need to do it to be a better leader for everyone on my team. So that's what I wanted to say to you guys about expectations. I really feel like the faster you can get your expectations in check, the faster you're going to be able to allow your voice to be heard boldly, because you're not worried about those other expectations of success attached to proving to people whether or not you can do this business and whether or not it's real, and proving to yourself all that stuff. Nope. Get your expectations in check, and you can look at your daily tasks, not long-term tasks, your daily tasks, and go, I can do this. I can totally do this. I can find 5 people to talk to. I can find 5 people to follow up with. I know I can come up with a good post. Boom, get that done, and then sit back and go, good job. Good job. Today was a good day. That's it. Okay, you guys? All right. So since I already mentioned the Facebook posting, adding people onto Facebook, I already talked a lot in the messenger this morning about Facebook. I'm probably going to save that in a note. So if somebody needs that in the future, I will have it saved. You can just ask me for it and be able to copy and paste it to somebody else who might be talking to you about Facebook. But the adding people to your Facebook page is huge. If you are not building your network and increasing outside of what you already have, you're going to come to a halt in your business. Some of you are finding this out already, because if you're messaging even 5 people a day, that is 150 people a month, right? If you do it every single day, which I take weekends off and I encourage that. But otherwise it's 5 times 4 is 20. So you're still messaging 100 new people a month. So if you've only got a few hundred people on your Facebook page to begin with, what are you going to do after a month or 2 months have gone by? You've sifted all the way through your warm market, and there you sit, right? Adding 3 new people a day gets around that problem, right? You're going to add another 100 people each and every month to your Facebook page. This is also why the content of what you put out on social media is super important, because if you're adding new people to your Facebook page and it is nothing but spammy Facebook, social media, Plexus posts, it's not going to really draw them in very much. Social media is just that, it's social. People want to know who you are and what you represent as a person. And if they can connect with you, that's the big deal, right? Can people connect with you? So make sure that you're adding those people to your page. That's incredibly important. That is how I've kept building my business. It's absolutely 100% how I've kept building my business. And then secondly, a lot of people, I think, miss the boat here when they do add people, and that is that they don't keep track of who they're adding to their Facebook page. They don't necessarily have intentionality behind relationship building with those people. They just kind of go onto Facebook and scroll and hit likes and comments and so forth on whoever pops up. And that's great, except for a lot of people that are going to pop up on your Facebook page are people you've already worked with, people who are your Plexus friends, and that can get really distracting, right? Because you actually know them and it's fun to hang out with them and it's cool to look at their posts and whatever. But it's not doing your business any good in terms of growing it for new people. So making sure that you're keeping track of those 100 people a month that you're adding to your Facebook page, more if you so choose, and liking, commenting, and picking your top 20. Now, what does that mean? Some of you know this already, but top 20 is, hey, this person and me, we're going to connect big time. I love what they have to say. I love who they represent. They're a go-getter. They have high energy. They are super kind. They have a love of the Lord. They have a very human heart where they're obviously very caring and empathetic, and whatever the case might be that connects you to that person. You should really think about that, by the way. Side note, create your own avatar of the type of person you want on your team and the type of person you want to draw to what you're doing. And your Facebook posts can align with that avatar. So when you're thinking about what you're going to post, you can say to yourself, let's call the avatar Sarah, okay? Would Sarah like this post? Because if Sarah would think this was stupid and I'm trying to attract a bunch of Sarahs, why am I posting this on my Facebook page? Now, every single post does not have to line up like that, but for the most part, if you're trying to attract those high energy, high thinking, positive people who have empathy and are go-getters and whatever it is, like I said, that you create for your avatar, then yeah, you should be thinking about that the majority of the time so that you're attracting those people. If you want mamas, that's an easy one, right? Give value-added information to mamas, and then guess what? They're all going to love you. They're going to follow everything you say. And be adding those mamas to your page intentionally. And then guess what else? When you make your top 20 of the top 20 for an individual month that you know you want to make special bond with, that's one of the things you can be paying attention to. Hey, there's a mama. I love what she has to say. She always seems cheerful about her children, but she's real. She tells it as it is. You know, maybe that's one of your things, right? So then it's easy for you to reach out to her, right? She connects with you. So then it's not hard for you to figure out what to say back to her, what to comment. You could pull up a messenger and say, oh my gosh, I just love watching you with your babies. I love that you are such a sweet mama, but I also love that you are so real, girlfriend. That's important. That's relationship building. You know what happens after that? You take those 20 people, you spend that time with them above and beyond the other 80. You can still be kind of liking here and there for the other 80 and commenting, but you're giving that extra special attention to those 20. And at the end of the month or the beginning of the next month, you can say, hey, I was just reaching out to a bunch of my friends because we're hosting a gut health event. We're hosting a 3-day sample challenge, and I thought you might be interested. God knows mamas need their energy. We all struggle in terms of maybe over snacking every single day. We're stuck in our houses, yada, yada, yada. This is a great event for you to check out what we do and what we offer. Boom. Natural flow to your conversation, right? This is what I do, you guys. This is what I do all the time, reaching out to people like that. And then if you get a no, right? If you get a no, if you're asking, here's one real quick tip, by the way. If you get a no for a 3-day sample, what's the next thing everybody should be doing besides relationship building? Okay. What I mean by that is, like, you can get a no for a 3-day sample, then you can either leave it blank and not say anything. I'll give you that option in a second. Or you can go back and chime in if you see something going on. Like maybe it's their birthday. Do a private message to that birthday versus posting on their wall. Hey, happy birthday. I hope you have a really wonderful day. Or maybe something else is going on and you private message them and say, hey, I saw you're attending that music festival. I'm so jealous. I love country music. We've got that in common. You know, whatever it is you're going to say to them. Then later on, you swing back. They already said no to the 3-day sample, right? You swing back and you say, you know, I know you weren't up for testing our products, and I totally understand and I respect that, but we are having an information only online event where you can just be a fly on the wall. you've still kept your connection to that person, right? And so now as you keep that connection, you're building trust. Then she says yes because it's no cost. She's learning something. And now you have another opportunity to bring that person into our world, right? Now, if you don't do the relationship building and you ask for a 3-day sample and they say no, you still can go back at a later date. Be liking and commenting at the very least, and then go back at a later date and say, you know what? I know you said no to that, but we have a great online event, be a fly on the wall, etc., etc. Boom. You could get a yes out of that. I kind of feel sometimes that this is another area that people overthink, right? I did the same thing myself, and still do sometimes. I mean, nobody's perfect, but I kind of feel like people get focused, maybe not on the rank advancement, but still the success of, I've got to find somebody who's going to do my 3-day sample. I've got to find the next person to sign. I've got to get that success, right? The focus is on the expectation of I have to sign somebody. As soon as you shift that to say, who can I love on today? Meaning relationship building, right? Connecting to somebody, being a friend, building those friendship relationships, and then who can I open their eyes to what I do in a friendly, loving way through this methodology? I'm just here to educate. I'm just here to open eyes. I'm just here to relationship build. That will lead in and of itself to the sale. But if your mind is always on, I got to get the sale, I got to make this happen, then that's what comes across in the messenger, is kind of that desperation and anxiety that you're feeling. And so here's what that can look like. You ask for a 3-day sample, they say no. You maybe like 1 or 2 posts, you disappear into la la land, you come back, you ask them to join an event, they say no. You don't even respond to these, by the way. You don't even respond. You disappear in a la la land. You maybe like something in the future, then you come back, try to get them to push for a 3-day sample again. That feels salesy to that person, okay? So even when somebody says no to me about a 3-day sample, for instance, even if I say nothing else immediately, even if I don't come back and invite them to an event or something, I'll always come into that chat after they've said no and say, you know what? That's fine, no big deal. I just want you to know that I'm hugely passionate about health and wellness. And if you ever need anything, a question answered in that arena, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I love helping people. That's what I say. I don't just leave it as oh, she said no. And then I said, okay, right? You want to share who you are and what you're about. It keeps that relationship feeling not like you just tried to do a sales pitch. You got to know when you walked out the door. Okay? Let me get some water, you guys. Okay, so how do you move past what we're just talking about? Now we have somebody in a 3-day sample event or in a regular 1-night event. So let's start with the 3-day sample event. First off, I want to tell you guys that there was a huge training on this done last month by 2 diamonds, Jennifer Leith and Emily Robertson. And if you go on the Plexus Ambassador community page, you can type in Diamond Takeover or 3-day challenge. You should be able to do that one too. And you're going to find all of their trainings and their videos. I appreciated it so much. I actually took all of those trainings, and saved them in a note on my phone, my Google Notes, because I always want to have access to that. And I don't want to have to go and dig through the Plexus Academy every time I want to find those videos to share with somebody else. But I would recommend that you guys go and look for those. If you're really sweet, you can contact me with your email and I'll shoot you an attachment to my note and you can just copy it and put it in your own notes. I'm just teasing a little bit, you guys, but that was really well done. And if you didn't hear it, I think you should go back and listen to it. There's also a 3-day training system, I guess you could call it, line by line by line by line by line of exactly how to invite to a 3-day, and then what to do to care for your customer in the 3-day, and then how to launch them into a 30-day supply once the 3-day sample event is done. These are aspects of your business that if you're worried about, like, how am I going to be successful and how does this work, that's where your mind should be shifted to. Because there is only so much time that it takes to message a few people, and then I feel like people sit back and they're kind of like tapping their fingernails and going, well, I don't get it. What's next? What's next is go figure out where your weakness is. Find a solution to that weakness, either on our back office in our resources page, which is just endless information, on our Plexus Ambassador community page, or on YouTube, which I think YouTube probably has less and less information, but find a diamond that's amazing, like Emily Roberts or Brooke Hemingway or Jennifer Leith, and go to their YouTube channel and watch all their videos. It's amazing. Their teachings are incredible. I'd love to say that I have my own teachings as well. Maybe one day I will start up my YouTube channel again. My first 3 years, I did a ton of training on YouTube. I think I kind of burned myself out. I've since gone and deleted the majority of the videos. I think I had like 300 videos on there, and I've deleted them all, but there are other people out there that you can find great information on, and then you can hone your skills through these resources, through this information that is already available line by line by line right now. And to be honest with you guys, to some degree, that's why I lack motivation to go make my own YouTube channel. It's kind of like, well, it's already there. So I'd rather just copy a link to that information and send it off to somebody and say, read through that. And as a leader, by the way, just a little FYI hint for you guys, if you do that to somebody and you send them a link on something that they need to improve, or it's an answer to a question that they have, and they don't bother to read that link or watch that video, that's just your indication of where you as a leader should be spending your time. If somebody reaches up to you and wants your time, and then you give them the answer and they're not willing to do the work to actually learn the information or implement it, they don't want this business very badly. And they should be somebody that you don't spend too much of your time with, because you're just wasting it. That's just a side note, FYI, by the way. So kind of got a little bit off track here, but what I wanted to say to you guys, so I wanted to give you those resources, referencing those resources, so that you yourselves will take time to go and master that type of information. Again, line by line, what to say, how to ask questions, everything. But for me, I wanted to explain to you that some of the most important parts to me are being very available to your customer when they're in a 3-day event, checking in with them the night before, tagging them in the welcome video, tagging them in the morning, the first morning status that comes up, messaging them in the morning with your pink drink, just a selfie, and saying, hey girl, I am so excited for you to get started this week. I cannot wait to hear what you think of the products. Messaging them in the evening. Okay, you've gotten through all 4 products. What did you think on your first day? Okay, these are all ways that you're building that relationship. You're maintaining excitement. You're feeding them additional information or answering questions if they have them. That is insanely important. If you just give somebody a 3-day sample, and this is the same thing goes for if they buy a 30-day product, you hand them that 3-day sample and you throw them into an event and you're like, okay, well, I'll check back with you in 3 days. Hope you have a good time. I don't need to do anything because the event is doing it all. No, the person does not have a relationship with the event, nor the person who's hosting the event. They have a relationship with you, and they want to know that you care enough to be in contact with them and to be on this journey with them. Nobody wants to be left out into a hayfield all on their own. That's just the way it is. And all of that in the first 3 days, that time that you're spending with them, is going to greatly add to their willingness to say yes at the end to a 30-day supply. They know you're going to be there for them. They had fun in the event. They saw the changes. You were there to pull information out of them and things like that. So that is really important. Okay, now they want to order. This part goes for a 3-day sample or an event. They want to order. What are you going to do? Are you going to send them a graphic? Are you going to say, hey, go to my website. Here's my website. Go to it, click, enroll, and follow follow the steps. Let me know if you need any help. Those things will work. I've been in quandaries where I've had to use them. Nothing's perfect. I mean, sometimes people don't want to talk to you, in fact, and they would rather get it graphic and do it on their own. That's just the way they are. They're super type A independent. But most of the time, it is absolutely, by far, you're better off for you to get on the phone with those people and walk them through this process. Now, let me use a case in point. I was set up in a 4-way chat last week with a girl who is a level 3 to me, and then she had her level 1, which is my level 4, and that level 1 had a prospect who has now signed, so she's my level 5, right? So the level 3 has been with this business for several years, and I adore her, by the way. I adore her. But this is case in point how you can get into your business and you can be in a place where you don't feel like you're finding success, but I would question whether or not you're being honest with the amount of effort you're putting into what you're doing, because I got into that message and I ended up coaching her through the 3-way chat, which was awesome. It was like a refresher for her to be like, oh yeah, here's some more effective ways than what I was using. So I could help coach her through that. And by the way, guys, it's my favorite thing in the world to coach. The more you use me in those situations and say, okay, I signed a new person and I know you said to do this, but I feel scared and nervous and I don't know what to do. Will you help coach me through the launching of this new person? Yes, I will. I want you to learn. I want you to grow. I want you to be successful. And if you have to watch me do it first, that is okay. So always do not be hesitant to reach out to me. This is a level 3, having me take care of what is now a level 5, right? So at the end of the day, I congratulated her. She did a great job listening to what I told her to do as I coached her through this 3-way. But the girl decided to order like the next day or what have you. Now, mind you, it ended up being Mother's Day. So I understand that people were busy and this particular ambassador lives an insane life. I swear, if she's not careful, she's going to end up having a heart attack. She is constantly pushing herself. But the girl messaged the group and said, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to order. And it was like the morning of Mother's Day. And the response was, okay, we'll just hit enroll and let us know if you need anything. So here we had taken a lot of time. The original 3-way was a lot of time, a lot of questions to answer. She was very hesitant. There was a lot going on. And push come to shove at the end, she's ready to order. And we say, okay, well, let us know if you need anything. I'll let you guess whether or not she ordered that welcome package. Of course, the answer is no. She did not order the welcome package. The ambassador came back the next day, which was Monday, and said to her potential sponsor, which I'm also in a 3-way with, she said, hey, did that girl order her welcome pack? And she goes, I don't think so. I didn't see anything come through. So here we have this huge effort that's being put in. The girl definitely needs the products. And the girl who's trying to grow her business is new. So trying to help her find success right now is also really important. And we're on the potential here of losing this girl, right? So my level 3 goes back into the original 4-way and says, hey, did you get your product order? Which we all know because we can check our back office, right? And the girl comes on and she's like, yeah, no, I tried. And, da-da-da-da-da. And there it sat. And I'm watching this and I just let it go because I want to see what's happening so that I can coach my level 3 and say, hey, this is where we need to shore things up. This is why you're probably struggling with success, etc. So I let it sit for a while and nothing happened. Nobody responded to her. And I can't remember exactly how long, but it was a while before I went in and responded. And then I just went on and I said, hey, do you have a minute? Do you think I could just call you and I'll walk you through this? Oh my gosh, that would be great if you could do that. Okay, no problem. I called her. Here's where the beauty starts, you guys. Here's what I really want you to hear. I wanted you to hear all of that because I want you to try to imagine, and I really explained it in detail because I want you to get that picture in your mind. You're the new person that's in this group with people you don't know, and now you're ready to order and everybody's like not really anywhere to help you. How would you feel? Okay, so be thinking about that. Getting on the phone with people is such a huge opportunity to relationship build with them. Whether it's you and you signed a brand new person and it's their person, it doesn't matter because their person is your person and you want them to know you as another layer of support in your business. That is super important. Best case scenario, you're going to get your brand new person on the phone with their potential so that this person can listen to what you're saying and learn what's going on. And then you have all three people there. You're building this team environment. You're building relationships, etc., etc. And I know this sounds like it might be going on and on and on. And oh my gosh, how do I fit all this time in here? When you're in action, it does not take that much time. When you practice this process over and over, it's like this. You just know to go to the next step, and the next step is get them on the phone, walk them through. One of the most important reasons to do this is not only to make sure that the order happens, but to make sure that they are able to process that order successfully. They're on the right website. I ask them on the first page, do you see the person's sponsor name at the bottom in the last box? This is important. We don't want them signing on to a random site, right? A corporate site or anyone else's for that matter. But the big beauty in getting on the phone with people is building their belief and walking them into the next step of inviting people into the next event. This is so cool and so awesome the way this works. So this gal, had done a 3-day sample, I believe. No, she hadn't. She hadn't done a 3-day sample, but let's imagine that she had, okay? And then we're going to call her and say, hey, how's it going? We walk her through the process, or the order. And as I'm doing that, I'm saying to her, because she's got a lot of typing to do, right? I'm saying, so what do you do for a living? How many kids do you have? You married? Are you excited? The very first question I always ask. Are you excited? I'm so excited for you, right? We want to remind them of their enthusiasm of what they're doing, and we want to hear that level and share that with them. And then those other questions come about. So in this conversation that I had with this gal, I found out she was a single mom with 2 jobs. Oh my gosh, right there. Holy crap. We've got to help her, right? She's leaving the house for 2 different jobs, one full-time, one part-time, when she has a child to raise. And this is an opportunity to change that for her. So I immediately said, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. We have definitely helped a lot of single moms in this company to not have to live that life, because obviously the more you're away from your child, the harder it is to parent. And I'm telling you, just by sharing the products with a few of your friends, you could earn enough income to skip that second job, right? So that you can do your work from home and that kind of thing. So I dripped that to her, and then we kept talking, and the sale kept going through, right? Kept walking her through that. And then we got to the end, and I brought it up again. I said, listen, I'm going to invite you to that event. Have you enter? This is what it looks like. We just drop a bunch of information about all of our product line. Your friends can be a fly on the wall. There's no pressure. And the ones who say they want it, awesome. The ones who don't, that's fine. But my advice to you would be to invite absolutely everyone you know. I will shoot you the message to send to them. You just shoot it out to your friends, and those that want to be into the group, add them to the group. That was it. She was super excited, and we follow through with giving her the messages and getting her on board. Note that there is not a discussion about you should really do this business. All you need to do is find 3 people so you can rank advanced to silver. You should do a launch party or join our launch party. None of that. All of that terminology leads people to think, oh God, I'm going down this scary road of, first of all, these are the types of things that people hear about with multi-level marketing, that they buy a product and then they get pushed into a business. So being mindful of your language is super duper important as well. And just discussing it as a natural, hey, you should invite your family and friends to this event we're doing on Monday night. See how natural that is? It's not a big deal. It's not overthinking what am I going to say. It's just completely natural. It's a great event. We share all of our products. We share some success stories, do some giveaways, and your friends can just watch and learn about what you're doing. And if they say yes to the products, they can purchase those through you and you'll get a referral bonus. Not a business bonus, a referral bonus. There's another little hint for you guys. It doesn't sound like a big deal when you call it a referral bonus. In this case, I let people know. I did this again today, you guys. I launched a girl who was not at all interested in the business, launched her right into it. She was like, heck yeah, $325. I said, yep. I said, and if 6 people happen to say yes and they want to do it with you, you're going to get $600. She was blown away. I wish I could have told her more, but she did not buy the larger welcome pack. So I'll share with you guys just so you even feel comfortable with understanding how easy this can be. And then I will put this information somewhere where you guys can have access to it. But after I got off the phone with her today, and this is a similar concept for this last girl I was talking to, I sent her this information. Here's the link to the Facebook group. Message to invite people. Hey girl, so excited to share with you that I've finally found something to help with my PCOS and relentless weight. Because I've been on the phone with her, I know these are her issues. My nurse friend and instructor introduced it to me. She has PCOS too. So this is her direct sponsor. I'm above her, okay? And was able to get off 7 meds in 30 days. You need to check this out too. I think you'll be as excited as I am. There is an online event this Monday night at 8. There will be info on the product, success stories, and giveaways. Want to be my guest? That's the message. Now she gets to shoot that to everybody that she knows. She doesn't have to think about it. I did tell her, if this sounds nothing like you, change up the invite to your voice. Super important part. Then I gave her the next step. When your friends reach out to you for information, in case they want info, I talked to her a little bit about this, in case they want info rather than going on the event, add Robin to the conversation and myself if need be to help you educate and guide. You are welcome to add me too in case Robin's busy. Here's how you can open the conversation. Hey Lori, thanks for reaching out about Plexus. I am so blown away by the products. I've added my friend and nurse instructor Robin that introduced me to Plexus since I'm so new. I don't know nearly as much as she does, so she'll help answer questions. Boom. Provided her that message. So no matter what she's doing, she's either inviting to the event or she's got people coming after her because through the invitation, they might come back and say, well, what is it? Right? Then she's stuck. Nope, we don't want them stuck. We want to give them, spoon feed them little pieces of information all the way along, right? Okay, so here's what's going on here, you guys, on the bigger picture. You have done a 3-day event. You have messaged them. You have been in contact for those 3 days. You're rolling them out over the phone while you're on the phone with them to build belief and to roll right into the, hey, you should invite your friends to the next event. And guess what? As a team, we have these events back to back for exactly this reason. You end with a 3-day, you get those people signed, you immediately have them available to invite to the next event. This week, we are finishing a 3-day today. We have our next event on Monday. Anybody who signs, boom, they get to start inviting and building their team instantly. Now, guess what? When Monday rolls around, you as a leader, starting your new team off by having them invite, get to coach that person to get on the phone. You'll get on with them, right? Help walk their new people after the event through the order process and do a relationship building and end it by saying, hey, we've got a really fun event that's similar to this. Only people get to test out our products. $20, 3 days, 4 products a day, and it starts Monday. I'm going to shoot you a message. You can invite everybody you know to see who wants to do this with you. They buy a $20 sample. They start on Monday. Just, roll with it, right? They start on Monday. They'll love the event. It's 3 days long. We'll be in contact with them. They get to try it. They'll get a $20 coupon, whatever you want to say, right? But you see how you're rolling? So now the person that ends the 3-day today signs onto your team, buys product, invites everyone they know to the event on Monday. She gets 3 people who say yes on Monday. Then we talk to them about the event the following Monday. So now this girl is silver. Those 3 people reach out to their network, invite everybody to the event on the following Monday. Let's say they get 1 to 3 people. So it's an average of 2. 3 people get an average of 2 each, right? That's 6 new people. Start on the 3-day sample the following Monday. They go through it. We get on the phone with them Wednesday night. They sign on to the team. Now this girl has 9 people signed to her team in 2 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks, 2.5, I guess, 2.5 weeks it would be. She's got 9 people signed to her team. Just by doing a simple process over and over and over and over. In the meantime, as you're growing your business, you need to memorize various things. You need to learn different things. You need to get better at relationship building. You need to add to your network. You need to do all these other things. But guess what? If you set in motion the growth of your team, the way I just explained, and then continue to, you yourself and your level 1 continue to add more people, and the other people continue to add more people, you're setting off this constant flow of continuation of people coming into your team because there's either an event or a 3-day sample. But getting confident and understanding that process and how to roll those people out to the next thing, and the language that you're using, not you're going to build a business, hey, you should really look to find, you should go find 3 people in your network that want to do this, and then you can rank advance. Like, all that language feels scary. Okay. Just, we have a What is Plexus event. We have a cool sample event coming up. You should totally invite your friends. Invite them all. I'll give you a message. Whoever shows up, shows up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay. I think that covers it, you guys. The last thing I wanted to mention is the units section in our team page, called units, okay, is there's a unit that talks about essential documents that you need to do your business. And I'm just going to go there real quickly. Yes, essential documents to support your business. Inside of there, there's a mastermind messaging PDF. This is made by our Double Diamond Brooke Hemingway. It's phenomenal. Tons of messages under all circumstances. Get familiar with that. Make up your own language, or that's not what I mean to say. Of course, you can make up your own language for the messages, but become very well aware of specific messages that speak to you. You're never going to use all 100 of those messages if that's how many are there. But you might say, this one stands out to me, this one stands out to me, and this one stands out to me. They are my go-tos. I am going to put them in my notes, and every time somebody needs to invite to a 3-day, I've got that message all saved, and I'm going to send it to them to invite to the 3-day. Every time I need to have a welcome post for somebody, this is the one I'm using. It's in my notes. I'm going to send it to them. Every time I need a type of follow-up, whatever that message is. I need a message for friends versus I need a message for cold people. I'm going to have these messages available, and I'm just going to pick a few of them so I'm constantly aware of what to send people and how to use the message and telling them to change it to their voice and all of that. Being organized in this business is going to be everything for you guys. Keeping those things that are working for your process handy so that you're constantly repeating the exact same thing so that you can master that skill and that process, right? That is important. Always having to go, oh my gosh, now I'm in this situation and this girl wants to start messaging to somebody, and let me go look at that message document again and see if I can find one that I like. That is so time consuming, and and the girl's waiting on you, and it eats away at your self-esteem even because you don't feel prepared. You don't feel like you know what you're doing in this business, when in fact, all the information is there, but you just have to take the time to really assess it and put it in one space. So again, I mentioned this earlier, I use Google Keep Notes. I love it. It allows me to download pictures, which I love because we have before and afters, links and notes, and I can invite anybody I want to my note to view it. So if I want to help you guys, for instance, you can say, hey, can you add me to your notes on Business Builders? And I'll say, sure. I'll add you. You can copy and paste that into your own notes so you can use it for your team. Things like that is fantastic. But also, efficient. When I'm talking to somebody and I have my go-to videos, like I have business videos that are people who have been struggling with Lyme's disease. I have business videos of mamas, crunchy mamas. I have ones that are individuals who are in corporate America, you know, that kind of thing. And I know I can go to those notes and grab that link, send it off, depending upon who I'm talking to. So be thinking of that. So master my messaging is one of them. Avoid losing product users. That's read through that and say to yourself, okay, now I know how I need to work with my customers through our products to make sure that I'm giving them the best success, for instance. Onboarding. Exposure process, that's a big one. Exposure process PDF is how many exposures do you have to give to somebody and how do you do that before they finally order. Onboarding, that's obvious. How do I onboard somebody? Recruiting system, a welcome pack PDF, that's all your welcome packs and which ones match what issues, right? These are all perfect documents, starting a new ambassador, etc. It's all in your unit section, and I would recommend these are key documents that are going to help you build your business, that you sift through them, pull out messages that are going to work for you. Be aware of that like welcome pack document that you can just ship to somebody. Here you go, you're a brand new ambassador. You're going to be sharing this with other people. This will help you align our welcome packages to the needs of the new potential. Whatever is wrong with them, this will help you figure out what welcome pack works for them. Boom. Then you do not have to be on a constant leash with your downline to answer those types of questions. They have the resources. They just have to plug into them. Okay. All right. I think that does wrap it up. Almost an hour here. So I appreciate your time, you guys. I'm sorry I can't be available tomorrow night. I forgot we have a team call. So thus the reason for this video. All right. Take care.